The historian Will Durant once said, "Civilization is a stream with banks. The stream is sometimes filled with blood from people killing, stealing, shouting, and doing the things historians usually record, while on the banks, unnoticed, people build homes, make love, and raise children." But what if there's a third force, one that flows beneath the surface, unseen yet shaping the very course of history? What if the rise and fall of empires, the birth of revolutions, and the evolution of human thought were guided by shadowy groups operating in the depths of secrecy? From the cryptic rites of the Eleusinian Mysteries to the clandestine meetings of the Knights Templar, ancient secret societies have long been whispered as the unseen architects of history. But who were they, what were their true aims, and how did their hidden influence extend far beyond their time? Today, we'll unravel the mysteries of these enigmatic groups, exploring their enduring legacy and the profound ways they've shaped the world as we know it. Join us as we step into the shadows to uncover the secrets that history has tried to forget. The roots of secret societies stretch back thousands of years, intertwined with the very fabric of human civilization. In ancient Egypt, for instance, groups like the priests of Ammon were entrusted with guarding sacred knowledge, from advanced mathematics to the secrets of the afterlife. These early societies weren't just about secrecy for its own sake. They were formed to protect ideas and practices that were considered too powerful or sacred to share openly. Similarly, in Mesopotamia, the Inki Brotherhood emerged as a clandestine network of scholars and priests who preserved astronomical and medical knowledge, ensuring it survived the rise and fall of empires. In ancient Greece, the Eleusinian Mysteries stand out as one of the most famous examples. This secretive cult, dedicated to the goddesses Demeter and Persephone, promised initiate spiritual enlightenment and a deeper understanding of life and death. Participation in these rituals was highly exclusive, often reserved for the elite or those deemed worthy. Initiation ceremonies were elaborate, involving symbolic gestures, sacred chants, and acts of purification. These rituals weren't just for show, they were designed to create a profound sense of belonging and shared purpose among members. The symbolism used in these ceremonies, from the pomegranate to the torch, carried layers of meaning that bound participants together in ways that transcended ordinary social ties. These early societies weren't just isolated curiosities. They laid the groundwork for the more complex secret organizations that would follow. Their emphasis on initiation rituals, symbolic communication, and the protection of knowledge became defining features of later groups, from medieval guilds to the enigmatic orders of the Renaissance. By understanding these ancient origins, we gain insight into why secret societies have persisted throughout history, fulfilling human needs for connection, meaning, and the preservation of wisdom. The legacy of these early groups continues to shape our world in ways that are often hidden, yet deeply influential. The Priory of Sion has long captivated imaginations, standing at the intersection of myth, conspiracy, and historical intrigue. Allegedly formed in France during the late 11th century, this secret society is said to have one extraordinary mission: guarding the lineage of Jesus Christ and Mary Magdalene. But how much of this story is fact and how much is fiction? The claims surrounding the Priory are as fascinating as they are controversial, weaving a tale that blurs the lines between history and legend. At the heart of the Priory's mystique are the so-called dossier secrets, a collection of documents that surfaced in the 1960s. These papers purportedly revealed the society's existence and its connections to prominent historical figures, including Leonardo da Vinci and Isaac Newton. However, many scholars have questioned their authenticity, suggesting they were part of an elaborate hoax. Despite these doubts, the dossier's secrets sparked a firestorm of speculation. fueling theories about the Priory's influence on everything from European politics to religious history. One of the most enduring narratives links the Priory of Sion to the Knights Templar, the medieval order of warrior monks. Some theorists argue that the Priory served as a successor or offshoot of the Templars, continuing their legacy in secret. Others see the connection as a modern fabrication designed to add credibility to the Priory's story. Regardless of the truth, this alleged link has deepened the enigma, making the Priory a focal point for those fascinated by the secrets of the past. In more recent times, the Priory of Sion has gained widespread attention through popular culture, most notably Dan Brown's best-selling novel The Da Vinci Code. The book brought the Society's alleged secrets to a global audience, reigniting debates about its authenticity and influence. While critics dismiss the Priory as a modern myth, its cultural impact is undeniable, inspiring countless books, documentaries, and even academic discussions. Whether fact or fiction, the Priory of Sion remains a compelling chapter in the ongoing quest to uncover the hidden forces that have shaped history. The story of the Knights Templar begins in the early 12th century during the chaos of the Crusades. Officially founded to protect Christian pilgrims traveling to the Holy Land, they quickly became far more than just guardians. Their rise to power was meteoric, endorsed by the Church, granted vast lands, and exempt from taxes. They amassed wealth and influence that few could rival. But were they truly noble protectors, or did their ambitions tip the scales toward opportunism? At their core, the Templars were warriors, devout and disciplined, sworn to poverty and celibacy. Yet, paradoxically, they became some of the wealthiest and most innovative financiers of their time. They developed an early banking system, allowing pilgrims to deposit funds in Europe and withdraw them in the Holy Land, a revolutionary idea that laid the groundwork for modern finance. This dual identity as both protectors and bankers made them indispensable but also targets of envy and suspicion. Their downfall was as dramatic as their rise. In 1307, King Philip IV of France, deeply indebted to the Templars, orchestrated their arrest on charges of heresy and corruption. Many were tortured into false confessions, and their Grand Master, Jacques de Molay, was burned at the stake. But was their destruction truly about heresy, or was it a calculated move to seize their wealth and erase a rival power? The truth remains murky, shrouded in centuries of speculation. Despite their abrupt end, the Templars never truly disappeared. Their legacy lives on in modern Freemasonry, which adopted many of their symbols and rituals. They've also become a cornerstone of conspiracy theories, with some claiming they safeguarded ancient relics like the Holy Grail, or even influenced global events from the shadows. Whether seen as martyrs or manipulators, their impact on history is undeniable. Their story is a reminder of how power, faith, and ambition can intertwine in ways that shape the world for centuries. The Knights Templar were more than just medieval warriors. They were architects of systems that still echo in our modern age. And as we explore their enduring influence, we're left to wonder, were they guardians of a sacred mission, or opportunists who blurred the lines between faith and finance? The Bavarian Illuminati, founded in 1776 by Adam Weishaupt, emerged during a time of intellectual upheaval in Europe. This secret society was born out of a desire to challenge the rigid structures of church and state, promoting Enlightenment ideals like reason, secularism, and individual liberty. Weishaupt, a professor of law, envisioned the Illuminati as a means to foster critical thinking and reform society from within, using secrecy to protect its members from persecution. Their mission was ambitious yet grounded in the philosophical currents of the time, far removed from the shadowy, all-powerful entity they're often portrayed as today. Yet, over the centuries, the Illuminati's true purpose has been overshadowed by layers of myth and speculation. stories of their alleged quest for world domination and manipulation of global events have proliferated, fueled by everything from political paranoia to sensationalist literature. The idea of a clandestine group pulling the strings behind the scenes taps into a deep-seated human fascination with hidden power. But how much of this narrative is rooted in fact? The answer lies in untangling the Illuminati's historical reality from the web of conspiracy theories that have grown around them. Popular culture has played a significant role in shaping the modern image of the Illuminati. From novels to films to music, they've been depicted as omnipotent puppet masters, influencing everything from financial systems to entertainment. This portrayal, while captivating, often bears little resemblance to the society Weishaupt founded. The Illuminati's historical footprint was relatively modest, lasting only about a decade before being suppressed by the Bavarian government. Their influence on global events, if any, was indirect and tied more to their ideas than their actions. So, how did this small, short-lived group become a cornerstone of conspiracy lore? Part of the answer lies in the power of storytelling. The Illuminati's focus on secrecy and their association with Enlightenment ideals made them a compelling symbol for those seeking to explain complex or chaotic events. Over time, their name became shorthand for any alleged hidden force shaping the world. Understanding this transformation, from a society of reformists to a legend of global control, offers a fascinating glimpse into how history can be reshaped by fear, imagination, and the need for narratives that make sense of an unpredictable world. Dating back thousands of years, the ancient Egyptian mystery schools stand as some of the earliest known institutions dedicated to the preservation and transmission of esoteric knowledge. These schools weren't just places of learning, they were gateways to understanding the deeper truths of existence. At their core, they focused on three pillars: philosophy, science, and spirituality, blending them into a unified system of wisdom that would influence generations to come. Initiates underwent rigorous training, not just in intellectual pursuits, but in the cultivation of the soul, aiming to achieve a higher state of consciousness. One of the most intriguing aspects of these schools is their connection to figures who would later shape the course of Western thought. Take Pythagoras, for example. Long before he became renowned for his contributions to mathematics, it's widely believed he spent years studying within the walls of these Egyptian mystery schools. The teachings he absorbed there, ranging from the sacred geometry of the pyramids to the metaphysical principles of the universe, would later form the foundation of his own philosophical system. This link between ancient Egypt and Greek philosophy is just one example of how these schools served as a bridge between cultures, preserving and spreading esoteric knowledge across time and space. But the influence of the Egyptian mystery schools didn't stop with ancient Greece. Their teachings became the bedrock for many later secret societies, from the Hermeticists of the Renaissance to the Freemasons of the Enlightenment. These groups adopted and adapted the principles of the mystery schools, weaving them into their own rituals and philosophies. The emphasis on self-transformation, the pursuit of hidden truths, and the connection between the material and spiritual worlds can all be traced back to these ancient institutions. Perhaps most importantly, the legacy of the mystery schools lies in their contribution to the intellectual and spiritual development of humanity. Their teachings challenged individuals to look beyond the surface, to question the nature of reality, and to seek harmony between the mind, body, and spirit. This ethos didn't just shape secret societies, it shaped entire civilizations, laying the groundwork for the philosophical and scientific advancements that define our modern world. Hidden in the fertile plains of ancient Greece, the Eleusinian Mysteries stand as one of history's most enigmatic spiritual traditions. For over 1,000 years, these sacred rites drew thousands of initiates, from humble farmers to powerful rulers like Plato and Cicero, all seeking profound insights into the mysteries of life, death, and the afterlife. Unlike many religious practices of the time, the Eleusinian Mysteries promised something extraordinary, a direct, transformative experience of the divine. At the heart of these rituals was the myth of Demeter and Persephone, a story of loss, renewal, and the cyclical nature of existence. Initiates would gather in the grand sanctuary of Eleusis, just outside Athens, to participate in a series of secret ceremonies. These rites were so carefully guarded that revealing their details was punishable by death. Yet, what we do know suggests that the experience was nothing short of life-altering. Participants emerged with a renewed sense of purpose and a deeper connection to the cosmic order. One of the most fascinating theories surrounding the Eleusinian Mysteries is the potential use of psychedelic substances. Scholars like Albert Hofmann, the discoverer of LSD, have speculated that a sacred brew known as the kykeon might have contained ergot, a fungus with hallucinogenic properties. This potent concoction could have induced visions that gave initiates a glimpse into realms beyond ordinary perception, profoundly shifting their understanding of existence. The impact of these rituals extended far beyond individual transformation. The Eleusinian Mysteries played a pivotal role in shaping Greek philosophy and spirituality. Thinkers like Socrates and Pythagoras were influenced by the idea that deeper truths could be accessed through direct experience rather than mere intellectual inquiry. This emphasis on inner knowledge laid the groundwork for later mystical traditions and even influenced early Christian thought. What makes the Eleusinian Mysteries particularly intriguing is their ability to transcend cultural and temporal boundaries. They remind us that the quest for meaning and connection to the divine is a universal human experience. As we explore other spiritual secret societies, the legacy of Eleusis serves as a powerful example of how ancient rituals continue to echo through the ages, shaping our understanding of the sacred and the profound. Hidden within the shadows of the Renaissance, a mysterious group of thinkers and seekers emerged, claiming to hold the keys to ancient wisdom that stretched back to the sands of Egypt and beyond. They called themselves the Rosicrucians, a name that would echo through history, inspiring both awe and intrigue. This secretive society first made their presence known in the early 17th century through a series of cryptic manifestos texts that spoke of hidden knowledge, alchemical transformations, and a vision for a more enlightened world. But who were the Rosicrucians and what truths did they claim to possess? At the heart of their teachings was the belief that the wisdom of the ancient world, particularly the sacred knowledge of Egypt and the Middle East, had been preserved and passed down through generations. They saw themselves as the modern inheritors of this legacy, bridging the gap between the mystical traditions of antiquity and the burgeoning intellectual movements of their time. The Rosicrucian manifestos, such as the Fama Fraternitatis and the Confessio Fraternitatis, spoke of a brotherhood of enlightened individuals who sought to unlock the secrets of nature, the cosmos, and the human soul. Their work would go on to influence some of the most pivotal figures of the Renaissance, from alchemists to philosophers, and even artists who sought to capture the divine in their creations. But the Rosicrucians were more than just keepers of ancient knowledge. They were pioneers of a new way of thinking. Their ideas blended spirituality with science, challenging the rigid boundaries of their era and laying the groundwork for the Enlightenment. Alchemy, often misunderstood as mere pseudoscience, was for them a deeply symbolic practice, a way of transforming not only metals but also the human spirit. Their influence can be seen in the works of figures like Isaac Newton, who was as much an alchemist as he was a physicist, and in the intricate designs of Renaissance art, where hidden symbols and esoteric meanings abound. The Rosicrucians also served as a crucial link between the ancient and modern worlds, inspiring later esoteric movements such as Freemasonry. Their emphasis on secrecy, initiation, and the pursuit of wisdom resonated with those who sought to uncover the deeper truths of existence. Yet, their legacy is not confined to the past. Even today, the Rosicrucians inspire those who look beyond the surface, seeking to understand the mysteries that connect us to the ancient world and to each other. Their story is a testament to the enduring power of curiosity, the quest for knowledge, and the belief that there is always more to discover if we dare to look. At the heart of Europe's medieval cities, a group of skilled artisans quietly laid the foundations for one of history's most influential secret societies. The origins of Freemasonry can be traced back to the guilds of stonemasons, master builders who crafted the grand cathedrals and castles of the Middle Ages. These craftsmen held closely guarded knowledge of geometry, architecture, and design, passed down through generations, but their legacy extended far beyond stone and mortar. Over time, their guilds evolved into something more: a fraternity dedicated to intellectual growth, moral development, and the pursuit of enlightenment. By the 17th and 18th centuries, Freemasonry had transformed from a trade organization into a philosophical movement. Drawing in thinkers, artists, and revolutionaries, the Masons became a driving force behind the Age of Enlightenment. Their lodges served as safe havens for the exchange of radical ideas, fostering principles like liberty, equality, and fraternity. These ideals didn't just stay within the walls of their meeting places. They spilled into the broader world, sparking seismic shifts in history. Figures like George Washington and Benjamin Franklin, both prominent Masons, helped shape the American Revolution, while across the Atlantic, Masonic networks influenced the course of the French Revolution. Today, Freemasonry's influence remains visible in more ways than one. Their architectural legacy endures in iconic structures like the Washington Monument and the Statue of Liberty, both steeped in Masonic symbolism. Beyond architecture, their cultural contributions are woven into art, literature, and even the rituals of modern organizations. But perhaps their most intriguing legacy lies in their use of hidden symbolism, a language of signs and codes that continues to captivate historians and enthusiasts alike. This symbolism, rooted in their medieval origins, offers a window into their enduring philosophy, a philosophy that has shaped not just buildings but the very fabric of civilization. At the heart of many secret societies lies a language that transcends words, a language of symbols that carries layers of meaning, mystery, and sometimes controversy. Take, for instance, the all-seeing eye, a symbol that has sparked intrigue and speculation for centuries. Often depicted within a triangle, this icon has been linked to divine omniscience, representing the idea of a higher power watching over humanity. Yet, its presence in places like the Great Seal of the United States and the dollar bill has led some to interpret it as a sign of hidden control, a whisper of unseen forces shaping the world from the shadows. Then there's the compass, a tool of precision and direction, which in the hands of secret societies like the Freemasons takes on a deeper significance. Paired with the square, it symbolizes the balance between the spiritual and the material, a reminder to navigate life with both moral integrity and practical wisdom. These symbols, etched into architecture and ritual, serve as guiding principles for members while remaining enigmatic to outsiders. Perhaps one of the most enduring and debated symbols is the pyramid. Its geometric perfection has made it a universal emblem of stability, hierarchy, and ancient wisdom. In the context of secret societies, the pyramid often represents the journey from ignorance to enlightenment, with its stepped layers symbolizing the stages of initiation or spiritual ascent. When you see it crowned with the all-seeing eye, as in the Great Seal, it becomes a powerful image that has fueled countless theories about hidden knowledge and the pursuit of ultimate truth. These symbols aren't confined to secret meeting halls. They've permeated art, architecture, and even currency, shaping public perception in subtle yet profound ways. Whether viewed as markers of esoteric wisdom or evidence of clandestine influence, they continue to captivate and provoke discussion. Their power lies not just in their design, but in the stories and interpretations they inspire, weaving a narrative that connects the past to the present and invites us to ask, what truths might these symbols still be guarding? Throughout history, whispers of hidden hands steering the course of revolutions have intrigued scholars and conspiracy theorists alike. Take the American Revolution, for instance, a movement often credited with birthing modern democracy. What's less commonly discussed is the significant presence of Freemasons among its founding figures. George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, and many others were members of this enigmatic society, which emphasized principles like enlightenment, equality, and self-governance. These ideals didn't just align with revolutionary goals, they seemed to echo them. But were the Freemasons the architects of the revolution, or simply influential voices within it? The debate continues to this day. Across the Atlantic, the French Revolution offers another layer of mystery. The uprising against the monarchy and the rise of republican ideals bear striking similarities to the values promoted by secret societies of the time. The Illuminati, a controversial group founded in Bavaria, has often been cited as a possible influence. Though the Illuminati's official existence was short-lived, their ideas about dismantling oppressive systems and promoting rational governance resonated deeply with revolutionary thinkers. Some argue that their philosophy seeped into the intellectual currents that fueled the revolution, while others dismiss their role as exaggerated or coincidental. What's fascinating about both revolutions is how these secret societies operated. They weren't openly leading armies or drafting laws. Instead, they shaped the intellectual and philosophical foundations of change. Their meetings, often held in private, became spaces for exchanging radical ideas and planning strategies away from prying eyes. Yet, their influence remains a topic of heated debate. Were they the spark that ignited these massive upheavals, or simply part of the broader tapestry of change? The answer likely lies somewhere in between. Secret societies were neither the sole drivers nor insignificant bystanders, but rather key players in a complex web of events. This intersection of secrecy and revolution raises broader questions about how hidden networks can shape the world. It's a theme that extends far beyond the 18th century, setting the stage for understanding their role in more modern movements. Whether as catalysts or contributors, secret societies undeniably left their mark on history, and their legacy continues to intrigue us today. Art has long been a mirror to society's hidden truths, and few reflections are as intriguing as those shaped by secret societies. From the intricate symphonies of Mozart to the visionary paintings of William Blake, these enigmatic groups have left an indelible mark on the creative world. Mozart's opera The Magic Flute, for example, is steeped in Masonic symbolism, weaving themes of enlightenment, initiation, and the pursuit of knowledge into its narrative. Each note and scene carries layers of meaning, inviting audiences to explore the philosophical ideas that inspired Freemasonry. William Blake, on the other hand, channeled his fascination with mysticism and esoteric traditions into his art. His works, such as The Ancient of Days, are rich with imagery that echoes the teachings of secret societies. The figure of the divine architect, compass in hand, is a direct nod to Masonic symbolism, reflecting their belief in the harmony of the universe and the power of human creativity. Blake's art didn't just celebrate these ideas, it challenged the norms of his time, pushing boundaries and inviting viewers to question the world around them. But the relationship between secret societies and the arts isn't one-sided. While these groups have inspired countless creators, they've also faced their fair share of critique. Literature and art have often served as platforms to question the motives and influence of secret societies. Works like Dan Brown's The Da Vinci Code or the surrealist paintings of Salvador Dali explore the darker, more mysterious aspects of these organizations, blending fascination with caution. This interplay between inspiration and critique has left a lasting legacy. Even today, the influence of secret societies can be seen in modern culture, from films and television shows that explore their mysteries to musicians who incorporate their symbols into album art and lyrics. The enduring fascination with these groups speaks to their ability to captivate our imagination, blurring the lines between history, myth, and creativity. Their impact on the arts is a testament to the power of ideas, reminding us that the quest for knowledge and expression knows no bounds. The idea of a shadowy New World Order has captivated imaginations for decades, often tied to secret societies like the Illuminati. But where did this theory begin? Its roots trace back to the late 18th century, when the real Illuminati, a short-lived Enlightenment-era group, was dissolved. Yet, their legacy was reborn in the 19th century, fueled by writers and thinkers who speculated that the group had gone underground to manipulate global events. Over time, these whispers evolved into a full-blown conspiracy theory, suggesting that a cabal of elites is secretly working to establish a one-world government. What makes this theory so enduring? At its core, it taps into deep-seated human fears about power, control, and the unknown. In times of societal upheaval, be it economic crises, political turmoil, or technological change, people often seek explanations for the chaos around them. The New World Order narrative offers a simple, albeit sinister, answer that unseen forces are pulling the strings behind the scenes. This idea resonates because it mirrors real-world anxieties about globalization, inequality, and the concentration of power in the hands of a few. But is there any substance to these claims? While secret societies have certainly existed throughout history, the leap to global domination requires a closer look. Many of the so-called proofs of the New World Order rely on selective interpretations of historical events, symbols, or statements by public figures. For example, the term New World Order has been used by politicians and leaders in various contexts, often to describe shifts in global governance or cooperation rather than a sinister plot. This doesn't mean every aspect of the theory is baseless. It's more a reflection of how easily fear and speculation can distort reality. The persistence of this theory also highlights something profound about human psychology. People are naturally drawn to stories that make sense of complexity, even if those stories are built on conjecture. The New World Order conspiracy serves as a modern myth, a way to explain the unpredictable nature of our world. Yet, it's important to ask, does focusing on shadowy elites distract us from addressing the very real issues, like inequality, corruption, and disinformation, that fuel these fears in the first place? As we explore further, it's worth considering how much of this narrative is rooted in fact and how much is a product of collective imagination. The next time you hear someone mention the Illuminati or a New World Order, pause and ask yourself, what's really driving these claims and what do they reveal about the world we live in? The allure of conspiracy theories is undeniable. From whispers of shadowy cabals to elaborate tales of hidden agendas, these narratives captivate us, but why? The answer lies deep within the human psyche. Conspiracy theories often thrive in times of uncertainty, offering a sense of control in a chaotic world. They tap into our innate need to find patterns, even where none exist, and to assign meaning to events that feel random or overwhelming. Secret societies, with their air of mystery and exclusivity, become the perfect focal point for these theories. They embody the idea of unseen forces shaping the world, feeding into our fears and suspicions. misinformation plays a significant role in this process. In today's digital age, false narratives can spread faster than ever, amplified by social media and echo chambers that reinforce pre-existing beliefs. The result is a distorted view of reality where speculation often overshadows facts. Yet, it's important to recognize that not all conspiracy theories are created equal. While many are rooted in fiction, some historical claims have been proven true, like the clandestine operations of the CIA during the Cold War, or the real influence of groups like the Freemasons in shaping political landscapes. The challenge lies in discerning fact from fiction, a task that requires critical thinking and a willingness to question our assumptions. The dangers of misinformation are profound. Conspiracy theories can polarize communities, erode trust in institutions, and even incite violence. They prey on fear, exploiting our vulnerabilities for political or personal gain. Yet, understanding why they resonate can help us combat their spread. By addressing the underlying anxieties that fuel these narratives, we can create a more informed and resilient society. So, as we dive deeper into specific cases, let's keep these complexities in mind. Some stories may hold a kernel of truth, while others serve as cautionary tales about the power of belief and the consequences of unchecked speculation. Emerging in the shadowy corners of post-World War I Germany, the Thule Society was far more than just a secretive club. It was a breeding ground for some of the most dangerous ideologies of the 20th century. Founded in 1918, this group cloaked itself in the mystique of the occult, blending ancient myths with radical nationalist and racist beliefs. At its core, the Thule Society was obsessed with the idea of a superior Aryan race, a concept they claimed was rooted in ancient Nordic legends. But this wasn't just about mythologizing the past, it was a deliberate effort to shape the future. The Society's members believed that Germany's salvation lay in purging itself of so-called inferior races and reclaiming its destiny as a dominant world power. One of the most chilling aspects of the Thule Society was its deep connection to the early Nazi Party. Key figures within the society, such as Rudolf Hess and Alfred Rosenberg, would later become prominent architects of Hitler's regime. The group's ideology provided a foundation for the Nazi worldview, particularly its obsession with racial purity and its hatred of Jews, communists, and other marginalized groups. Even Adolf Hitler himself was influenced by the Thule Society's ideas, though he later sought to distance himself from their overt occultism, preferring to frame his movement in more scientific terms. Nonetheless, the fingerprints of the Thule Society can be seen in the policies and propaganda that led to the horrors of the Holocaust. The Society's impact extended far beyond its direct influence on the Nazi Party. Its occult practices and conspiratorial mindset seeped into the broader culture of early 20th century Germany, creating an atmosphere ripe for extremism. The Thule Society didn't just promote hatred, it gave that hatred a sense of purpose, framing it as part of a grand, apocalyptic struggle between good and evil. This toxic combination of mysticism and bigotry would echo through the decades, leaving a dark legacy that continues to influence extremist movements today. From neo-Nazi groups to modern conspiracy theorists, the ideas born in the Thule Society's meetings still find fertile ground in the shadows of our world. As we untangle the story of the Thule Society, it's impossible not to see how such secretive groups can shape history in profound and terrifying ways. Their blend of myth, ideology, and violence serves as a stark reminder of the dangers that arise when hatred is given a sense of purpose. And while the Thule Society itself faded into obscurity after the rise of the Nazi regime, its legacy remains a cautionary tale, one that urges us to question the hidden forces that shape our world. Nestled within the ivy-covered walls of Yale University lies a society that has sparked fascination and speculation for generations, the Skull and Bones. Founded in 1832, this exclusive group is shrouded in secrecy, with its members sworn to silence about its inner workings. But what exactly goes on behind the closed doors of the society's windowless tomb-like meeting place? Rumors swirl about peculiar initiation rituals, the presence of cryptic artifacts like the so-called Bonesman's Oath, and the alleged use of pseudonyms to further cloak members' identities. Over the years, the Skull and Bones has counted among its ranks U.S. presidents, Supreme Court justices, and titans of industry, leading many to wonder, is this merely a prestigious fraternity or a breeding ground for America's most influential power players? Critics argue that the society serves as a conduit for elite networking, where connections made in its hallowed halls translate into political clout and corporate dominance. Names like George H.W. Bush, George W. Bush, and John Kerry are often cited as evidence of the group's outsized influence. Yet supporters counter that the Skull and Bones is simply a college fraternity with a storied history, its rituals no more sinister than those of other secret societies. They point to its charitable activities and the camaraderie it fosters among members, dismissing claims of a shadowy agenda as overblown conspiracy theories. The debate over the Skull and Bones raises broader questions about the role of elite societies in shaping history. Are they merely social clubs, or do they wield genuine power behind the scenes? From the Freemasons to the Bilderberg Group, these organizations have long been accused of orchestrating global events to serve their interests. Yet others see them as forums for discussion and collaboration, where ideas are exchanged freely among the world's brightest minds. As we explore these questions, it's worth considering how much of the mystique surrounding these groups is rooted in fact, and how much is pure speculation. What's clear is that secret societies like the Skull and Bones continue to captivate our imagination, leaving us to wonder just how much sway they hold over the course of history. Behind the veil of secrecy, many of history's greatest minds were not only scientists but also members of enigmatic societies that shaped the course of human knowledge. Take Isaac Newton, for instance, a name synonymous with the laws of motion and universal gravitation. Yet few realize that Newton spent as much time deciphering alchemical texts and biblical prophecies as he did unraveling the mysteries of physics. His involvement in esoteric studies wasn't an anomaly but part of a broader tradition where secret societies became incubators for groundbreaking ideas. These organizations often operated in the shadows, blending the pursuit of scientific truth with rituals and coded knowledge that protected their work from prying eyes. The tension between openness and secrecy is a recurring theme in their story. On one hand, these societies pushed the boundaries of human understanding, making discoveries that would later form the foundation of modern science. On the other, their commitment to secrecy often meant that their insights remained hidden from the public for decades, if not centuries. For example, the alchemists of the Middle Ages were not merely chasing the mythical philosopher's stone. Their experiments laid the groundwork for chemistry, even though their true intentions were often obscured by cryptic symbolism and guarded teachings. This duality raises fascinating questions about the nature of progress. Did the secrecy of these societies stifle the spread of knowledge, or did it protect revolutionary ideas from premature exposure or suppression? Figures like Newton and others who walked the line between science and esotericism challenge us to reconsider how innovation unfolds. Their intellectual legacy isn't just a collection of discoveries, but a testament to the complex interplay between curiosity, caution, and the human desire to explore the unknown. As we delve deeper into their contributions, we begin to see how these hidden networks shaped the very fabric of our understanding of the world. One of the most fascinating aspects of secret societies is their deep connection to religious traditions, often serving as custodians of spiritual knowledge outside mainstream orthodoxy. Take Gnosticism, for example, a mystical movement that emerged in the early centuries after the Common Era. Gnostics believed in a hidden, esoteric understanding of the divine, one that could only be accessed through personal revelation and inner enlightenment. This idea of secret wisdom was not just a philosophical stance. It became a cornerstone for many secret societies that followed, shaping their rituals and beliefs. Similarly, Kabbalah, a mystical branch of Judaism, offered a framework for interpreting sacred texts through symbolic and numerical codes, a practice that resonated deeply with groups like the Rosicrucians and later Freemasons. These societies often positioned themselves as interpreters of divine truths, challenging the established religious authorities of their time. By preserving and transmitting spiritual knowledge through symbols, rituals, and allegories, they created a bridge between the mystical and the material. This wasn't just about spirituality, it was about reshaping the way people understood their relationship with the divine. The Rosicrucians, for instance, blended Christian mysticism with alchemical symbolism, offering a path to spiritual transformation that was both deeply personal and profoundly universal. But their influence didn't stop at spirituality. Secret societies also played a pivotal role in shaping philosophical thought, weaving together esoteric traditions with broader intellectual movements. Their emphasis on reason, individual enlightenment, and the pursuit of hidden truths laid the groundwork for the Enlightenment itself. In a way, these groups became the guardians of a philosophical legacy that continues to shape our understanding of the world. By merging the spiritual with the intellectual, they created a unique space where faith and reason could coexist, challenging the rigid boundaries of both religion and philosophy. At the heart of many secret societies lies a deep connection to philosophical thought, ideas that have shaped their purpose and methods for centuries. One of the earliest influences traces back to Plato, whose concept of ideal forms suggested that true reality exists beyond the physical world. This idea resonated with groups who sought to uncover hidden truths, believing that enlightenment could only be achieved through a profound understanding of the unseen. Such societies saw themselves as guardians of esoteric knowledge, preserving wisdom they believed was inaccessible to the uninitiated. This pursuit of hidden truths became a cornerstone of their identity, driving their rituals and teachings. Moving forward in history, the Enlightenment era brought a new wave of philosophical influence. Thinkers like Voltaire and Rousseau championed reason, individualism, and the questioning of authority, ideas that found their way into the fabric of secret societies. These groups began to see themselves not just as keepers of ancient knowledge but as agents of change, using rational thought to challenge outdated systems and promote progress. The Enlightenment's emphasis on intellectual freedom and moral responsibility aligned closely with the goals of many societies, shaping their role as shapers of cultural and political landscapes. But the philosophical roots of secret societies go beyond mere intellectual exercises. They also delve into profound questions about power and morality. For instance, the tension between secrecy and transparency raises ethical dilemmas. Is it justifiable to withhold knowledge for the greater good? Can the pursuit of power ever be truly altruistic? These debates have echoed through the ages, influencing how societies operate and how they are perceived by the outside world. By grappling with these timeless questions, secret societies have contributed to broader discussions about the nature of authority and the responsibilities of those who wield it. These philosophical ideas didn't just stay confined to the minds of thinkers or the inner circles of societies. They spilled over into the wider world, shaping art, literature, and even governance. The interplay between hidden knowledge and public influence created a dynamic that continues to fascinate and provoke thought. Whether viewed as protectors of wisdom or enigmatic power brokers, secret societies have left an indelible mark on how we understand the pursuit of truth and the complexities of human ambition. While secret societies are often depicted as male-dominated, women have played pivotal roles in these enigmatic groups throughout history, shaping their influence in ways that are frequently overlooked. From ancient priestesses who wielded spiritual authority to modern organizations like the Daughters of the Eastern Star, women have been both participants and leaders in societies cloaked in secrecy. In ancient times, figures like the Oracle of Delphi or the Vestal Virgins of Rome held immense power, guiding decisions and shaping the spiritual and political landscapes of their eras. These women were not mere bystanders but central figures whose influence rippled through their societies. As secret societies evolved, women continued to carve out spaces for themselves, even within traditionally male-dominated groups. The Freemasons, for instance, saw the emergence of female counterparts like the Order of the Eastern Star in the 19th century. This organization, founded by Robert Morris, was designed to include the wives, daughters, and female relatives of Freemasons, offering them a platform to engage in rituals, charitable work, and communal fellowship. Yet, women in these societies often faced significant barriers, from outright exclusion to limited roles within the hierarchy. Despite these challenges, they persisted, leveraging their positions to advocate for change and expand their influence. The 20th and 21st centuries have seen a gradual shift in the role of women within secret societies. Organizations like the Daughters of the Eastern Star have become increasingly autonomous, focusing on empowerment and philanthropy while maintaining ties to their historical roots. Women are no longer confined to auxiliary roles but are stepping into leadership positions, reshaping these groups to reflect modern values of inclusivity and equality. Yet, the journey has been far from smooth, with many societies still grappling with deeply ingrained traditions that resist change. The global impact of women in secret societies cannot be overstated. In Africa, for example, female secret societies like the Sand of the Mend people have long played a crucial role in cultural and spiritual education, passing down traditions and values through generations. Similarly, in Asia, women have been instrumental in preserving the rituals and teachings of esoteric groups, ensuring their survival in a rapidly changing world. These diverse contributions highlight the universal presence of women in secret societies, underscoring their ability to adapt and thrive in varied cultural contexts. Their influence extends beyond the confines of these groups, often shaping broader societal norms and movements. By challenging gender stereotypes and advocating for equality within secret societies, women have helped pave the way for greater inclusivity in the wider world. Their stories remind us that the history of secret societies is not just a tale of shadowy male figures, but a rich tapestry woven with the threads of female resilience, creativity, and leadership. As we explore their global impact, it becomes clear that the role of women in these societies is not just a footnote in history, but a central chapter in the ongoing narrative of human progress. While Western secret societies like the Freemasons and the Illuminati often dominate the conversation, secret societies have thrived across the globe for centuries, each with its own unique cultural imprint. Take, for instance, the Chinese triads, whose origins trace back to the 17th century. Initially formed as resistance groups against the oppressive Qing dynasty, the triads evolved into complex organizations blending political activism with criminal enterprises. Their rituals, often steeped in symbolism borrowed from Chinese folklore and martial arts, reflected their dual identity as both protectors and outlaws. Unlike their Western counterparts, the Triads prioritized loyalty and brotherhood above all else, creating a tightly knit network that spanned centuries. Meanwhile, in Japan, the Yakuza emerged as a distinct force with roots in the Edo period. Unlike the covert nature of many secret societies, the Yakuza operated openly, blending elements of organized crime with a strict code of honor known as Ninkyo. Their tattoos, elaborate ceremonies, and hierarchical structure mirrored the samurai traditions they often claimed to uphold. Yet, their influence extended far beyond the underworld, shaping politics, business, and even disaster relief efforts in modern Japan. The Yakuza's paradoxical nature, both feared and respected, offers a fascinating glimpse into how secret societies can embody societal contradictions. In Africa, secret societies took on a different form, often tied to traditional religious practices and community governance. Groups like the Poro and Sand societies in West Africa served as vital institutions for social cohesion, education, and spiritual guidance. These societies were deeply embedded in the cultural fabric, with initiation rituals marking key life transitions for young men and women. Unlike the Triads or Yakuza, their focus was less on secrecy for its own sake and more on preserving cultural heritage and maintaining societal order. The Poro, for example, played a crucial role in conflict resolution and leadership training, ensuring the stability of their communities. Despite their differences, these societies share some striking similarities. Each operates within a framework of ritual and symbolism, using these elements to reinforce their values and maintain internal cohesion. They also often function as alternative power structures, challenging or supplementing established authorities. Yet, their philosophies and practices are deeply shaped by the cultures from which they emerged, making each one a unique reflection of its time and place. As we move forward, it's worth considering how these societies have adapted or failed to adapt to the modern world. Are they relics of a bygone era, or do they still hold sway in today's globalized society? This question sets the stage for a deeper exploration of their enduring relevance in an ever-changing world. As the world entered the 20th century, traditional secret societies found themselves at a crossroads. Increased scrutiny from governments and the media began to peel back the layers of mystery that had long shielded these organizations. Newspapers and investigative reporters, armed with a growing appetite for exposing hidden truths, started to question the activities and motives of these enigmatic groups. At the same time, cultural shifts toward individualism and transparency began to erode the allure of secrecy that had once drawn so many into their ranks. The once impenetrable aura of exclusivity started to fade, and with it, the influence of many of these societies. Some groups, however, managed to adapt to this changing landscape. The Freemasons, for instance, pivoted to emphasize their philanthropic efforts and community involvement, reframing their image to align with modern values. By focusing on charity and public service, they retained a degree of relevance even as their rituals and traditions became less central to society. Other societies, like the Rosicrucians, embraced the digital age, using the internet to attract new members and share their teachings with a global audience. These adaptations allowed them to survive and even thrive in a world that increasingly demanded openness. Yet not all secret societies were so fortunate. Those that clung to outdated practices or refused to evolve faced a slow decline into obscurity. The tension between secrecy and transparency became a defining challenge as modern audiences grew wary of organizations that operated in the shadows. This shift has left us to wonder, what does the future hold for such groups in an era where information is more accessible than ever? The question of their survival now hinges on their ability to balance tradition with innovation, secrecy with openness. As we look ahead, it's clear that the legacy of these societies will continue to shape our understanding of history, power, and human connection, whether they endure or fade into the annals of time. In an era marked by rapid technological advancements and shifting cultural landscapes, there's been a notable resurgence of esoteric groups, drawing in seekers from all walks of life. These ancient traditions, once shrouded in secrecy, are finding new life in a world that seems to crave deeper meaning and connection. But what is it about these mystical societies that continues to captivate us, especially in times of uncertainty? One of the driving forces behind this revival is the paradox of our digital age. While technology has connected us like never before, it has also left many feeling disconnected from themselves and the world around them. In this space of digital overwhelm, esoteric groups offer a return to introspection, ritual, and spiritual exploration. Online forums, virtual gatherings, and even apps dedicated to ancient practices have made these once elusive teachings accessible to a global audience. It's a fusion of the old and the new, where ancient wisdom meets modern convenience. But it's not just technology fueling this resurgence. The counterculture movements of today, much like those of the 1960s and 70s, are increasingly drawn to alternative ways of thinking and living. For many, esoteric groups provide a sense of belonging and a framework for challenging mainstream norms. They offer a space to question, to explore, and to find purpose beyond the material world. Whether it's through meditation, symbolic rituals, or the study of sacred texts, these groups provide tools for personal transformation in a chaotic world. However, this revival isn't without its challenges. As esoteric teachings become more mainstream, there's a risk of diluting their core principles. Some groups struggle to balance accessibility with authenticity, wary of becoming mere trends in the ever-changing landscape of spirituality. Others face criticism for being too exclusive or for misinterpreting ancient wisdom to fit modern narratives. Maintaining relevance while staying true to their roots is a delicate dance for these societies. Yet, despite these obstacles, the enduring appeal of esoteric groups lies in their ability to offer something timeless, a connection to something greater than ourselves. In a world grappling with uncertainty, their teachings remind us of the power of mystery, the importance of inner work, and the possibility of transformation. As we look to the future, it's clear that these ancient traditions continue to hold a mirror to our deepest questions, and perhaps in their resurgence, they offer us a way forward. The echoes of ancient secret societies ripple through the centuries, shaping the very fabric of our modern world in ways we might not even realize. These clandestine groups, once shrouded in mystery, left behind a legacy that continues to influence politics, culture, and the way we understand power and knowledge. Take, for instance, the Freemasons, whose principles of enlightenment and fraternity seeped into the foundations of democratic ideals, even inspiring the architects of the American Revolution. Their emphasis on self-improvement and moral integrity still resonates in organizations and movements today, but it's not just in the halls of governance where their impact is felt. Popular culture is rife with nods to these ancient groups, from novels and films exploring their enigmatic rituals to conspiracy theories that fuel our collective imagination. Symbols like the all-seeing eye or the pyramid, once central to these societies, now appear on currency, corporate logos, and even in music videos. This fascination speaks to a deeper human yearning to uncover hidden truths and grapple with the mysteries of existence. What can we learn from this enduring influence? At their core, ancient secret societies were mirrors of human nature, reflecting our desire for belonging, our thirst for knowledge, and our struggle for power. They remind us that knowledge is both a tool and a responsibility, and that the pursuit of understanding must be balanced with ethical considerations. As we navigate an increasingly complex world, their lessons offer a timeless lens through which to examine the dynamics of influence and the consequences of secrecy. Their legacy also invites us to question who holds power and why. Whether in the shadows of ancient temples or the corridors of modern institutions, the allure of control and the dangers of exploitation remain ever present. By studying these societies, we gain insight into the mechanisms of authority and the importance of transparency in safeguarding the common good. As we near the end of our exploration, it's clear that the influence of these ancient groups is far from a relic of the past. Their ideas and practices continue to shape our world, challenging us to reflect on the balance between power and responsibility, secrecy and openness. What lessons will we carry forward as we navigate the complexities of our own era? The answers lie not just in history, but in how we choose to apply its wisdom to the challenges of today. Throughout history, secret societies have woven themselves into the fabric of civilization, guarding ancient knowledge and shaping the course of events in ways both seen and unseen. From the shadowy rites of the Egyptian mystery schools to the influential networks of the Freemasons and the enigmatic Illuminati, these groups have played dual roles: preservers of wisdom and architects of intrigue. Their origins often lie in the need to protect sacred truths from the uninitiated, yet their influence has extended far beyond their closed circles, leaving an indelible mark on politics, culture, and even science. Today, the question lingers: in an era of unprecedented transparency and access to information, do these societies still wield power, or have they become relics of a bygone age? Some argue that the digital age has stripped away their mystique, while others believe they've simply adapted, operating in new forms behind the scenes. Their legacy, however, remains undeniable, a testament to humanity's enduring fascination with the unknown and the allure of hidden knowledge. As we reflect on the stories and mysteries of these societies, let's consider their role in our modern world. Are they still shaping the course of history, or have they faded into the pages of legend? What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's continue this conversation. If you've enjoyed unraveling these historical enigmas with us, don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more explorations into the captivating world of history's greatest mysteries.